Good afternoon, everybody. This is She Traces, and today I'm here to talk to you about Married at First Sight, Season 4, Episode 3, entitled Just Married. This episode aired last week, so I'm about a week late on this review, but I think it should be short and sweet, so let's just jump right into it. My overall impressions of the episode were that it was just okay. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being a great episode, it was probably at a 2.5. There wasn't that much drama, I guess. That much, I don't know. Nothing really stuck out to me about the episode. It was just kind of like meh. And, I really was excited to see what their reactions were to each other. And it was just okay. I mean, I didn't think it was... it wasn't as dramatic as they made Atlanta last year seem, but you could tell that they tried. There was moments of build-up that they tried to make into dramatic scenes, and I was just like, this is still meh. So, let's start talking about the couples, and I'm going to be referring to my notes on my phone in order that they appeared. So, first up were Tom and Lily, and as you may recall, Lily is the youngest contestant this year. Or participant, I'm not going to say contestant. She's 24 and Tom is in his early 30s, I believe. And they're the ones that I mentioned, they're the ones that I mentioned last video that I'm a little concerned about. But apparently they have great chemistry, sexual tension, whatever it is that you want to call it. They're very reminiscent of Trey and Vanessa last season, where, as soon as they met, you can tell that their attraction is there. They're very easy to watch. They just kind of look, most of the guests through the night we're seeing, they kind of look like they belong together, look like they've been together already for a couple of months. So I guess they're just very natural with one another. I don't know if you can call that chemistry or sexual tension, whatever it is. I think it's just pure, sexual attraction. They both seem very comfortable with the kissing, very smoochy all night. Every other second they're kissing on camera, and their families seem to have gotten along pretty well. There was an instance during their wedding that Lily's sister was asking about not being a bridesmaid, or about not being the maid of honor, or something like that, or not being included in her wedding, or something like that, which I thought was totally selfish of her. She could at least waited 2-3 days after the honeymoon, something like that. But like, to bring up something that you mad about at somebody's wedding because they didn't choose you to be, like, that just seems really childish. And Tom kind of came and sat at the table during that time when they were discussing that, and I just thought her older sister was extremely selfish for that. Yeah. So for the most part, Tom and Lily seem to be about to get down with the business on the honeymoon. Next couple were Heather and Derek and Heather. Heather is a flight attendant, and Derek, I believe, is some sort of salesperson, something like that. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Their wedding looked like it was put together 5 minutes before it aired, or 5 minutes before they filmed. It looked, I don't know what it was, but something that really bothered me was the fact that she was walking down the aisle. There was no music. There was no, there was a musician with an instrument at the end of the aisle, but they weren't playing any music. And then people didn't know. I feel like everyone should know that when a bride is walking down the aisle, you need to stand up. The music kind of gives you the cue, but you saw people standing up, other people sitting down. It just looked so weird. It looked like it was something that was just put together, thrown together. And Tom and Lily had an outside wedding. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. One of the big parts. Their wedding got drenched. The first, I guess, 10-15 minutes of it was downpour, and you can tell just from that they're both kind of don't sweat the small stuff type people, go with the flow. If that was me, I would have been bawling, crying. I'm not leaving the building until this rain stops. But I guess they had to be on schedule because it seemed like two of the couples were using the outside venue, and maybe they were just crunched for time. So yeah, Tom and Lily got rained out, and then halfway through their nuptials, the sun came out and it was beautiful, and the water in the back looked amazing. So that was very beautiful. That was like the first time that I've actually seen such a beautiful event. And then compare that to Heather and Derek, and you know, people don't know what to do when she's walking down the aisle. There's no music playing, like no wedding march, nothing. It was a little weird. And then you know, her and Derek, I mean, they seem very, I don't know how to explain it. Like, on the scale of excitement, they're like below. I don't know. Watching them, I just wasn't. I mean, Heather, she seems like a very nice girl. Derek seems very genuine. Heather, I wasn't crazy about her dress. I wasn't crazy about her makeup. Like, the makeup made her look like 5 years older than what she was. You know, I don't know. I just, them together, I mean, they actually make a cute couple. They look very well together. But I just, yeah, I don't know really how I felt about their ceremony, except that it was just, it looked very last minute. In terms of Sonia and Nick, they also had the outside wedding venue. And, you know, Sonia was very super nervous. She looked beautiful. And she was super, super nervous. Like, even after they got married and all that, she kind of was relieved to see him. I didn't, like, get the overwhelming feeling that she was like, he's super hot. Like, she was just like, he's cute. And, you know, then we kind of right away got to see that Nick is super calm, just looks very, like, compared to her, like, he was just like, okay, cool, like, I'm ready for this, let's get this over with. And I don't know, you could tell that he kind of holds things on the inside. I could tell that right away. And then after they got married, you can tell that he got all these issues with socializing and interacting. You know, and Sonia points it out right away. You know, he didn't tell me I was beautiful. You know, does he think I'm attractive? All her insecurities start popping up. Yeah, and he seems a little awkward in that department. Kind of like, I'm trying to remember who suffered from that same kind of awkward silence. I don't remember right now, but yeah, he seems very, very reserved, and that might be an issue for her, because it seems like she likes words of affirmation. So, for the most part, what else did I say about Nick? Nick, he was a gentleman. He kissed her on the cheek. You know, I think Heather and Derek actually just had like the pecs. And then, of course, Heather had the Ashley syndrome from last season, where she felt it was too much kissing going on with the wedding photos, and it was just awkward. And I mean, hey, like, if you think about it, that's their first date, although they're married. Like, to be kissing a stranger on your first date is very, for some people, they might kiss them at the end of the night, but be kissing them throughout the night, that might be a little way too much, a little over the top. So I could sense Heather was uncomfortable. I mean, I didn't feel like she shouldn't have been. I thought she was still very classy about it. She wasn't like Ashley, just very, you could tell in her face that she didn't want to be touching or nowhere near David. So yeah, I think overall this episode was just okay. I mean, tonight episode 5 comes on, and I guess we get to see the honeymoon, which still looks like a very happy time for all involved. But I kind of feel like the season is just off to a slow start, and I could see that it might be driving people away, because it's taking a little bit to get to the build-up of, you know, the juicy stuff. We want to see the argument. We want to see the personalities clashing. We want to see the, you know, not the fairy tale marriage, that real life, every day, gotta make decisions, gotta learn how to talk to your partner, gotta learn your partner's love language, all that stuff. I think that's what people are prepared to see, and that's what they look forward to see how well these people were matched. So I guess I'll be talking to you about today's episode in a couple of days. Alright, let me know what you thought of this episode entitled Just Married, Season 4, Episode 3 of Married at First Sight. Peace.